Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I have an old Wi-Fi modem here. First, I'm going to inspect it and check whether it can still be used. However, after examining it closely, I found that the modem's antenna is damaged and no longer functions properly. But instead of throwing it away, I'm going to reuse the components already inside and transform it into a new antenna. First, I removed the outer casing of the modem to take a look inside. After opening it up, I noticed two solder points located at the outer corners of the circuit board. These positions can be reused as connection points for the antenna wires. So, I use a soldering iron and solder wire to enlarge these solder points. Next, I use a TV splitter as the central connection component for the entire antenna wiring system. Here, I prepared two sections of signal cable to connect to the modem circuit board. For the shorter cable, I first remove the insulation from both ends. Once the outer insulation is stripped away, you can clearly see the copper core inside. This makes the connection process easier and helps ensure better signal conductivity. I repeat the same process with the longer cable, stripping the insulation from both ends to prepare it for the next step. After preparing the cables, I solder one end of the short cable to one of the solder joints on the circuit board. Then, I solder the long cable to the remaining solder point. These new solder joints firmly secure the cables to the circuit board, reducing the risk of loose connections and ensuring stable signal transmission during operation. Next, I position the TV splitter underneath the circuit board to make the wiring layout more organized and convenient. I apply a layer of hot glue to the mounting area and secure the splitter in place. Then, I connect the remaining end of the short cable to one of the splitter's ports, completing the connection between the circuit board and the splitter. To improve durability, I apply additional hot glue around the cable body near the connection point. Next, I attach the remaining cable to the second port of the TV splitter. In the following step, I use the long cable as the connection between the antenna and the TV. First, I strip the insulation from one end of the cable to prepare a connector. Then, I install an F5 connector onto the cable to create the TV signal connection. After that, I wrap electrical tape around the connector to secure and protect the joint from loosening during use. Once completed, I route the cable through the existing cable opening in the modem's casing. Finally, I connect the cable's F5 connector to the remaining port of the TV splitter, completing the entire internal connection system. After completing all the internal connections, I reassemble the Wi-Fi modem casing just as it was originally. I carefully arrange the circuit board, TV splitter, and cables to ensure everything sits in the correct position and won't be pinched when the cover is closed. In the next step, I prepare the remaining end of the signal cable. First, I remove a small section of the insulation to create a connector. Here, I have a connector that will be used to connect the antenna to the TV. I attach this connector to the remaining end of the antenna cable, then align and tighten it to ensure a firm and secure connection. With that, the homemade antenna made from an old Wi-Fi modem is finally complete. Now, I'm going to test it in real-world conditions to see how effective it really is. First, I'll switch to a TV channel to check the signal reception without connecting the antenna. As you can see, without the antenna connected, the TV only displays the message, "No signal." This means the TV cannot receive any broadcast signals in its current state. Next, I'll connect the DIY antenna to the signal input on the back of the TV for the actual test. And here is the result. Almost immediately after connecting the antenna, the TV channels begin to appear. The picture is clear, the colors remain stable, and there are no continuous signal interruptions. To make the test more convincing, I'll perform one more experiment. I disconnect the antenna from the TV and observe the signal changes. As soon as the antenna is unplugged, the screen instantly returns to the no signal message. All channels disappear, confirming that the signal truly came from this homemade antenna. Now, I'll reconnect the antenna once again. As you can see, within just a few seconds, the channels reappear and continue working normally. The picture remains clear and stable without any noticeable issues. This experiment shows that old electronic devices are not always as useless as they seem. With a little creativity, patience, and the right approach, they can be given a new purpose in ways we might never expect. If you enjoyed this project or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.